What's up? It is Lawrence Tam, and we are starting a Project Mayhem webinar with some special guests. I'm not sure who is going to be popping on, but there's a lot of us on. Cynthia Social Cowgirl, Franco Gonzalez, Toby Black, Debbie Turner, Nick Bramble, Alex Zubarev, and many, 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 many more. Now, what is the purpose of this? Well, a lot of us came back home from the Empower events at the very first Empower Network event in Atlanta, Georgia. Fantastic meeting, so many of you. It's so hard to actually put a name to a face and then a Facebook face to a face, if you know what I mean. But it's one of the things that it's missing in internet marketing land. I mean, most of us, we're taught to, shy away from people and we want to hide behind a computer. But the real friendships and the real networks come together when you meet people. And this is exactly how I met Toby. I mean, if I did not meet Toby at an event, I don't think I would be here really at this point. And I do owe a lot to Toby and Layla Black. I don't know if Layla's listening. That super duo. It's just one of those things like, I knew they were ultra successful and I wanted to work with them, but didn't really have a chance until Empower came around. Being in different companies doesn't even matter. Didn't even matter. So we're going to dive into some crazy like ninja stuff about what I did. And then we'll go through some mindset, and I'll bring some of the leaders who want to come out and talk. And if you want to throw some questions out, go ahead and throw your questions over here on the Facebook group, and we'll dive into that. Okay, so what do I want to show? Well, number one, it's about credibility, right? Let's do some credibility. If you're not in Project Mayhem, you probably want to join. And if you don't know what the hell that is, it's just a place for people who are in different backgrounds, different companies, but are all trying to make some money on the internet. Now, check this out. This is I'm zoomed in. This is Debbie Turner's, her nice little, I call it little. This check is actually like 6 feet tall. It's a work of art to compress this onto an airplane. She made $35,000. This is actually low because when they printed this, it was like a week prior, so all of us probably made like another $5,000 to $10,000 more than that. But hey, it's a cool way to put a gauge to how much people have made. I say made because it's actually I cut off October 15th to May 31st. These are earnings, not a bonus. So it's just it's a cool kind of thing to kind of see. We have Franco here. It's a little blurry. I think Franco was like over 50 or 60,000 or something like that. Totally passive because he's building something else. He's building a primary in Visalis, and he's using this as a. We're going to show you how he did that and why we don't actually spend time in Empower because that's kind of their culture, right? Spend 2 hours a day and make thousands of dollars. I'm okay with that, and we're going to show you how we're doing that to a different level, a different extent than what they're showing at the event. Here's Alex Z. I think he's closing someone to his primary business right now in Visalis, and he said he'll be busy. I'm like, hey, cool, man, not a problem. Empower Network is about working on webinar. We do this because we're used to it. We're grinders, but being a grinder isn't all together bad. We connect with people. And here's Alex and his Beamer and his 45,000 he did passively a couple hours a day. Where is this one? Here's the man, Toby Black. He's looking down at this big old check, 142,500, totally passive. I don't know if he spent more than an hour last couple months, and there's a reason for that, and we'll dive into that, why that works. And even though he's been spending all of his time building Visalis, he can still build this only if you know what he's doing. To just assume you can do that in 2 hours a day is nonsense. Okay, I'm not David Wood, and I'm not going to just tell you it works that way. I'm going to show you what we've done and what we've experienced, and there is hard work to be done in this. And if your primary network market opportunity doesn't give you that time, we can kind of show you what you should be doing, and it's your decision to how you want to approach that, right? And then here's mine. I was actually number one up until I think the night before. Campo actually beat me, and hey, much props to him. 95% of this was part-time, and I think I spent an hour of 3 hours last month because I was spending so much time with Visalis, which I'm totally happy because I'm actually making about this. Actually, I make more in Visalis than I do in Empower Network on a monthly basis now. But no fault to Empower. It just shows that if you do it the proper way, And a lot is to be said about what the Daves talk about in Power, how you're supposed to be actually running in Power, and we'll dive into that. But I'm actually number 2, Toby's number 3 all time, and both of us actually do it pretty passively. But there's a key ingredient that's missing, and they don't really say it on stage. And we don't want to mislead you into thinking that you can build this type of business part time. Ain't gonna happen. All right. Okay. So what else we got here? Some questions. Good. Good. Yeah, definitely no wussy. So I wanted to do some training tonight. True training. We tried to do training at the hotel. I think we had like 50 people there, and we were told to not do it anymore because everyone thought we were trying to go with people into Visalis. But for those who actually were listening to what we were teaching, we taught from I think 9 to 2. About 12 o'clock, we got kicked out to the park. All right, it was pretty crazy. So you have Toby who hates being sweaty and in the sun, hiding under a tree, and teaching people. It's kind of like it was pretty cool. And I think there was about 25 who showed up after we broke up. They learned a lot, basically on purely how we run a business. All right, how to run a business. So the question I get all the time is, Lawrence, how do we teach? How can you mentor me? Can you train me? Can you do this, that? Can I make the money you're making? Now, the Dave Squared's motto is what? Now, if you're at the Empower Network event, Dave's motto is, hey, just get traffic, which then gets to a funnel, and then you get paid, right? In a 5,000 foot view of this, that is true, right? They are going to be the face. You drive traffic to a funnel that they control. You'll make money, which is true. And this is exactly how I made money. It's how I told you. It's how everyone here made money. But what they don't want to tell you is this traffic right here. Now, some of it will be coming from SEO, which you should be doing. You should be blogging daily, right? If you're not, why aren't you, right? But what they're really not telling you is paid traffic. All right, just plain and simple. If you notice Mac 10, Lisa Diane, all the top end leaders, it's either SEO, paid traffic, or list. All right. Now, I'm not gonna say people didn't make money. That's on the big end. On the small end, most people will probably make a $25 sale. So a lot of people did stand up. They did stand up, but most people don't have a list. Most people don't know how to do SEO, but they're doing one per day, which is fine. So where does this paid traffic come from? Right? Where does this paid traffic come from? Now, to me, that is the real secret. Paid traffic that doesn't take your time. You're not learning new things because you don't care, because you're going to someone who has a proven source of traffic. Proven source of traffic. Now, if you want to learn that, well, that's fine, but traffic changes. Everything on the internet changes every 3 months. Well, good luck to you, right? And this is why, if you hear it from us, I mean, let's be totally frank what we're trying to talk about. What we're talking about is the internet changes every 3 months. We want you to make money fast. And if that means us telling you to go on the internet, we're thinking, okay, if you don't learn and lock down that method of marketing in 3 months, you're going to lose it. And then you're now in month 6 with no real skill set to drive traffic. You know what I mean? If that doesn't make sense, think of it this way. If I had my sister to come in and do internet marketing, she's an intelligent person, but she likes to party a lot. And she has school, and so she gets distracted, so she's not building her business. So what if in January, she's learning, she finds this one, magical unicorn of a traffic source. Fantastic. She goes party, goes to Vegas, has finals. Then April comes around, this unicorn is dead. The unicorn doesn't even work anymore. You know what I mean? Be it a Google Penguin update or whatever it may be. The penguin's dead. Now she has to go make her new unicorn. The average person quits because they get traction, they get some traffic, but then they quit because something changes and they were living off of one source of income or one source of traffic, and they're like, oh my goodness, this is too hard, right? So when someone tells you internet marketing is easy, if they say it's easy, they're lying to you. I don't know of any other way to tell you they're lying. Every person I'm gonna bring out has more than at least 2 years of pure internet marketing experience, and they've probably I don't know, they probably spent over 50 to 100, maybe $200,000 on their education. We treated it like an education, like you would teach at a college level, right? If the average college student spends $40,000 minimum, I would say 40 to 80,000 to go to a public college. Why wouldn't you spend that type of money to make crazy amount of money versus being a salaried engineer that makes 85,000 a month? I mean, not a month, sorry. That's it. That's a marketer. I'm talking about a salaried engineer who makes it a year. Now you can make that. I mean, so I looked at my bank account. Income disclosure. This is not, this is not to say, I'm the greatest. Or anything. I'm just a normal person. Of the 1,200 people in that room, I don't think I'm make more than probably 2%. There's probably 2% in that room who still make more than I do. They do. Why? Because really, I came in 2006. I joined a network marketing opportunity. 2008, I joined internet marketing. 2010, I had my first big year. 2011 had my first 50,000 month. 2012 is today. Right? Now, here's the problem with the internet. And the internet, if you look at a time scale, right? If this is time and this is money, here's what happens. This is why people buy into the lie, right? People will come in, they're losing money over time. They start, I broke even. Let me change colors. This makes more sense. They come in here and they're like, yes, okay, this is my investment because you're under. This is $0, right?
Hey, Alex, I'm on the webinar. You're gonna have to call me back, whoever that is.
That's Alex.
Yes, I'm on the webinar. You have to call me back.
And if you don't know, Alex don't care because he's Russian. That's how he rolls. So
call me back.
Chris, I'm on the webinar right now. Jump on the webinar.
Let me go ahead and just mute Alex out because he's a gangster.
Yeah, mute him, bro.
I muted him out. So this is in truth. This is where most of you will be because I went there and everyone I know has been there. You lose money, and some people get back to zero quick. Some people take a year. It took me about 12 months. And that was primarily because I was using Google PPC. With no Google PPC, most people are spending more time to get back to just operating at a level where they're breaking even, which means they're reinvesting all their money back into marketing, yet they're still working part-time. So when I was working part-time, I had a luxury that I had money as a salary position. So I lived off of this, right? But then my marketing was, I was cycling my money back into my business every single month. So I was really not making any money additional. But the key is my wife was okay with that. See, I wasn't using my engineering money to fund my business. I was using my network marketing business to fund my business. And I did that all offline, and I was making I think $300 a month. And that was enough. That was it. That was all I needed. So I took that, went online, hit zero, and then this is what happens. People spike, and then they come back down because really you're always launching new programs and new affiliate contests. They launch, and then you get these fools who come in and they're going to sell you on this dream right here. They're going to sell you on this dream, which to me, that's a pretty big scam. They're going to show you they had one day of hooray, and they teach this. Go to any of these internet marketing things. They're going to teach you to brand yourself on one day. And then everyone thinks you're making that every day or every month, which is pure BS. So I go up there, I spike, I come down, I'm equal, spike, level spike, come down. So when someone goes, hey, Lawrence, I saw that you made $10,000 one month. Why are you not quitting your job? And I'm not quitting my job because I'm making like $3,000 a month before and then $2,000 a month after that. That's why I'm not quitting my job. Right? And when people go and quit their job based on instances in time that is not repeatable because they're not stable, that pisses me off that internet marketers would do that to you. And here's something I realized, and who do you trust? I mean, seriously, who do you trust on the internet? The internet behavior is to sell you stuff. Think about it. Why do so many people launch stuff? Why are there so many products that encourage you to make your own products, to brand yourself? If you truly thought about it, why would you want a newbie to make a product to sell you something that you probably could have got for free somewhere else and gotten it better? But the only reason you're buying it from that person is because they're the first exposure and they got to you sooner because of marketing.
Preach the truth, son.
Man, I'm telling you, Toby knows this. You got a bunch of freaking newbies. That's the majority of the mass on the internet. They're selling you stuff because that's what they're taught to make money, which is through launches. They want to launch their product. Hey, I had a $500 day. Learn from me. But it's not a $500 consistent day. So income disclosure, my wife was looking at our bank statement. 2 months ago, I was making $43,000, all right, to my business, not engineering. Income disclosure, results are not typical. This is comprised of Visalis and Empower. And then I go, hey, honey, what was it in May? Because I didn't know. It was $53,000. Visalis and Empower. And so within a 2-month period, here's 0, here's 1 month, here's May. That is stability. Now, how do you get stable? You can't make internet marketing 100% of your income. I'm just telling you the truth, man. All right? I'm going to hand it to Toby. He's going to dive into this, and he can go whatever he wants, but I really want you to understand that. If your only source of income is on the internet and you're always trying to reinvest back into your business, but a lot of times you're reinvesting all of it back into your business, how can you grow? Because you're always trying to launch a new product, make a new product, you're building, and then you see these internet marketers who are burned out, bloodshot, they have a big list, but they've been trying to sell for so long, and then you see them change and try to sell something else in a different field. So it's no longer internet marketing. Now they want to sell you financial advice. I mean, let's just be real, right? So Toby, I'm gonna give you the helm, buddy. Let me find you in here. Make presenter. So this is Toby Black. He is the #3 income earner in Empower Network. Did nothing due to the fact that he recognized a trend, and the trend was there is no long-term internet marketers out there who make good money without scamming people. I mean, come on, let's be real, right? And if Nick Bramble was on, I think he's with his kids. You know, he's a big family man. Like Nick, let me see if Nick is here. Nicky? No, not Nick. Nick had a big issue. He was in the industry for over a decade. I think over a decade, or maybe he's 8 years. And he's like, I made great money, but it's always about scamming people. It didn't make him feel good. People didn't duplicate. People didn't make money. What are you doing, right? So when I hand it to Toby, what do you really want to do? You want to work with people who've been through the crap that we've been through to really enlighten you, take you to the next level. Something you'll never hear in an event because they don't want you to hear the truth, all right? Go ahead, man.
Can you hear me, bro?
I can hear you, bro.
All right, dudes and dudettes. Toby here, one part Toby and Layla. If anybody doesn't know us, went from the basement of a bar to over 50, 60, 70,000 a month consistently in less than 3.5 years, thanks to the internet and network marketing. So social proof is there. Guys, this webinar is going to be ongoing training, pure value, nothing to sell. Basically, because we're sick and tired of what Ty was talking about, the BS of people just selling. That is the whole idea online, is to sell. And we're not doing this to just bash in anybody that wants to be an internet marketer. We have tons of friends who are just internet marketers. That's great. That's cool. But for us, we found online because we were wanting to be true network marketers, and we didn't succeed network marketing because we were wussing around. So we came online, learned some things, and now we come full circle, and now we're doing both. We got the best of both worlds. So don't feel like we're doing this to bash at anybody whatsoever. We're just giving you the real. Now, some people will jump off, and some people will stay on, and they'll appreciate that Lawrence Tam and gang are sharing real stuff. They're sharing, okay, this works, this doesn't. Basically, when they say this, they're lying. This is the actual truth. We're going to give you that real stuff because we don't care, because there's nothing to buy on this webinar. We're just giving you pure value you can run away with. And I know, like Lawrence was saying, everybody that was there at the event on the weekend when they were outside and in the lobby, you got some pure value. Let me just close my door so my dog doesn't just come running in and break something. So I want to take my little 7-10 minute stint about social proof, and do you have it? Now, you don't. Social proof isn't all about the big time money or the 1,000 lead days. It's not about that. So don't feel like, well, yeah, I don't have social proof because I'm not making the ridiculous money or generating the ridiculous leads. You don't need it. We hear all the time from people at different events. Everyone always wants to join your team. Not just Layla and I personally, but your team. Everybody wants to talk about your team. The buzz is always about your team. Yeah, because we have unreal social proof. Oh, just checking out something that we can buy Lawrence when he hits 5-star. Is this one cool for you, Lawrence? This one right
That's
here
crazy, bro. Dude, I'm an engineer, man. Come on, that's redonkulous.
If anybody's seen the watch that Layla and I, in my house, it's a tradition. And guys, we're not using, we're the kind of people that are real, and we respect that everybody's in different network marketing companies, but we like to give real life examples, and that's the company that we're all aligned with. So we're going to use a name. We're not going to be like, oh, we don't share names here. Yes, we do, because we're all big boys and big girls. There's a tradition in Visalis that when you help one of your team members hit ambassador, 10 to 15,000 a month income, you buy them a watch, and this is going to be mine for 5-star because I'm pretty ridiculous like that. We bought Lawrence a fantastic tag watch when he went and popped his cherry into ambassador.
It was
so social
awesome.
proof, guys. It doesn't have to be about the 10, 20, 40, 50, 60, 100,000 a month social proof. It doesn't have to be about the 2,000 leads in a day social proof. It can be a simple little gesture from someone that you helped out in a video. They saw your video, they learned something, and they wrote you an email saying, hey, I was doing this all wrong. I saw your training video on YouTube and I changed it, and now I saved 10 minutes in the day. And they wrote you that email and you shot a video about it and put it on your wall. Now, there is no one better than my wife when it comes to social proof. She is an absolute beast. We call her the ESPN of Facebook because every second of the day there's something new going on. Now, building social proof, if you are brand new, don't know a thing, is going to be a little bit tricky because you need to have some sort of value to share. Actually, let me reframe that. Brand new, right inside of whatever you're inside business, you can still use social proof, but it's a different kind of social proof. You're going to share inner value, basically inspirational quotes, books that you've read before, your mindset, how you view this situation, different things like that to get people involved in your social proof because you don't have any results yet whatsoever. A major strategy that we use in social proof, no matter what you're doing, is having your, and I'm going to laser in on Facebook because it is such a big beast. Guys, you can build whatever business you want just harnessing a few key skills on Facebook. One would be having your team, whether it be Ian, Visalis, or whatever company you're in, making sure your team is all over your Facebook wall. All over your Facebook wall. A great way to do that, if you don't have a little mastermind team, get connected with 2 or 3 people that are the same level that you are in your business, all brand new, all been in a week, all been in a month, all been in a year, whatever. Mastermind with each other, spend some time with each other, and then cut some videos about each other's good points and strong points and what they do, and then post them on each other's walls, and then get everybody to comment on them. So when someone comes to your wall, it's not like the desert where one of those little balls. What were those things? Not hay, but you remember just
like a dust ball.
Dust ball, exactly. You don't want your Facebook page to be just like the lone desert with a dust ball going by. You want it to be like a wall of fame. That's what we call it. We call it the wall of fame. We want someone that when they come to our Facebook wall, they're like, whoa, look at that person, look at this person, well, look at that person, look what this person's saying about them. No matter where you are on the wall, whoa, you want to be able to you want to be able to have someone come across your wall and be kind of gazing down, going, wow, this person's awesome. And again, it doesn't have to be about all the money, it doesn't have to be about the gazillion leads. It can be simply about your leadership qualities that you're sharing with people. We love pictures. We absolutely love videos are great. Pictures are, think of videos are like your videos are like your bricks to a house, and pictures are the cement that goes within the bricks to build the house. You cannot it's not good to just have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos. It's great to have little snapshots because then it flows. People can come through your wall, check out your video, and then check out a quick picture, quick picture, quick picture, and then into another video. Look at this picture Layla put up on Sunday, 140 comments. It was nothing to do with business. It was nothing to do with recruiting. All it was her birthday message to me. 140 people saw it and commented and liked and all the rest of it. By doing that, someone comes through and says, wow, these people are really genuine. It's not all just about business with them. It's actually about real life. And it's actually about life. And when you think about that, that's no marketing knowledge, no marketing lingo, no crap, none of that stuff really matters. It's just about life. And if you're in your business to better yourself and better everybody around you, you want to be with a group of people that are doing the exact same thing as you. You want to be with a group of people that are doing the exact same thing as you. So a couple of tips here, what to do when someone joins you in your business, someone joins you in EN, someone joins you whatever you're doing, grab a picture of them and go to your Facebook wall and tag them in it and say, hey, welcome to the team, yada, 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 this person, this person, this person, and make sure your little clique or your friends are commenting on it. Not only does that make that brand new person that just signed up with you so happy and like, whoa, oops, that person be like, whoa, that's absolutely incredible. Look at them give me a shout out. They're a leader and they're already giving me a shout out and give me a hand up. That's great. It also makes other people, when they come to your wall, they see, cool, look at this person that just signed up the other day, and look at the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 comments on there. That's awesome. People are already engaging them in chat and making them feel a lot better, and it's drawing people to you. The more you can be about your team, the more that you can have other team members of yours on your wall so other people see your team, the more people are going to be attracted to what you and you're doing because they see that you're not afraid to push people through the ranks, to get people out there, to get other eyeballs on your team rather than just you. It makes you look like a servant-driven leader. And at the end of the day, guys, that's all you want to be around is people that genuinely care about you and your well-being, people that genuinely care about what you're doing in life, and people that genuinely care how what you're doing in your day-to-day marketing, what you're doing in your day-to-day activities, because that's all it is. When you have a team, a squad, a support group that every day calls you, makes sure that you're doing the right thing, actually does it with you, actually makes sure that you're doing the exact things they're doing to get results, that's when you're winning. That when you have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 people that you can reach out to, that you know is going to pick up the phone, that you know is going to help you out, and you know is going to help you get to the next level, that's when you're absolutely winning. Because then no matter how bad you suck at SEO, no matter how bad you suck at PPC or whatever, you're able to have a support group that have been there, done it, bought the t-shirt, made the money, and say, hey, don't do that, do this, hey, do that, do more of this. And you cut your learning curve, slash your learning curve dramatically because you have that inner core team. And again, to reiterate what Lawrence was saying, on the internet, it's a mentality of sell, sell, sell. Even the brand new person that barely knows anything, sell, sell, sell. What we're doing is more about developing the leadership. What we're doing is more about teaching. What we're doing is more about leading from a place where, hey, we don't make money unless you make money. So that's my little rabble on about social proof, guys. Take the couple of tips that I told you about, go and run with it. Make sure your Facebook wall is a Hall of Fame. And make sure when someone comes to your wall, they're not like, wow, nothing's going on here. They're more like, damn, this person has a lot going on, and I want to be associated with them because they look absolutely awesome. Look at how awesome battling it's there. All right, buddy, throwing it back to you, man. Thanks for letting me babble on.
Thank you. That is some legit stuff. I mean, people don't want to really build a business. They just want to scam people. That's just deep down. You know what I mean? And if that's what you really want to do, I mean, hey man, if you want to scam people, be my guest. That's your deal. That's not my deal. That's not our deal. You know what I mean? And so if you're not here trying to scam people, well, crap, give some good value. You know what I mean? Give some good value. And I'm gonna bring out Franco. Let me see if I can get Franco the wheel make presenter. Let me know if you get it, Franco. I'll keep talking until he picks up. But anywho, a Facebook wall is free traffic, and what I posted in the group was, when was the last time your online sponsor in anything wanted to share your stuff on his wall? It just doesn't happen, right? You're just a sale. You're just a sale. And that's just that's just the idea. That's the community that was bred.
Yo, Lawrence, can you hear me okay?
Franco, I can hear you, buddy. Take it away, my man.
All right. All right. Hey, actually, what I want to do is, yeah, let me just go take it to my wall. I'm inside of my branch office number 23 in Starbucks. And I just want to do that because, man, picking off what just Toby just laid down, I have an actual real-time case study on how I just did that heading into this webinar. And if you guys can see my profile there, can you see my profile, Lawrence? Okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. So what I did is I was coming into the office here, right? And you see my car here parked outside of Starbucks. I know, Toby, it should be a BMW, brother, but this one it's on the way. It's on the way. Working on that 700 series, and I want to buy cash.
That looks like an old school. Like that's a G. That's a G car right there.
That's a G ride. I want to stay invisible to society, brother. Invisible to society, living large. But see, so I posted this, right? And all I did is I just kind of showed people where I'm at, coming into Starbucks to get on a webinar, living that lifestyle, and then post a little story. You guys can head over to my wall, click on that. Read the story because there's a lot of copywriting in there, but it's genuine, it's honest, but it does, tell a story, prove a point. And the bottom line of all this was, I hear a lot of the gurus out there still selling 2005's flavor of attraction marketing, which, in my honest opinion, keeping time short here and just being very brutally honest with you guys, it's so darn complicated and obsolete these days, really, that it's a disservice now, because what I just did is an example of the only attraction marketing I personally feel you need out there right now is with free platforms like Facebook. That's where the people are at. And then your heart and soul right out there, adding increase into other people and attracting them in. So that is attraction marketing. And from there, I'm going to give you a $100,000 tip right now. And the reason I'm going to give it away for free right now is I call it the Franco formula. I've been online, guys, for 10 years full time. And there was something that happened at the event where we were very, very pushed for time. When I was up there on stage seeing that check, it was a check for $64,000. And the line of questioning went something to the effect of this. And here's why I'm giving a $100,000 tip away right now, because I know 99% won't get it. You're just kind of, zoning on your Skype right now or checking your texts and all that crap, and that's why you're not making money. About 1% will actually take notes on this, and I guarantee you within 6 months to 9 months, they will be crushing it. But that's why I can give it away, because I know most people will just kind of zone through it. But here's kind of the line of questioning that happened on stage. Dave, asked me, and I got it. I got the positioning, I got the brand and the culture they're building at Empower, and it's cool. I also want to thank Lawrence and Toby for being real upfront. For 10 years full time, I have never ever gone to webinars or conference calls and not told people what my primary program is, what my training platform is, because I think that's the wussification of a whole industry. I mean, think about it, guys. If you bought your own franchise or you were a roofing contractor and you spent your blood, tears, and all your heart and blood building up a real business, the last thing you're going to do when somebody asks you, what do, is be vague and BS around the topic. You're going to be proud of what you do. You're going to be proud of your brand, your label, your name. Everything about you is going to say, I'm happy with what I do. I deliver value. Come to me when you need me. So all this stuff about this industry, all of a sudden, it tells you not to say the name of your company, not to say the name of this, the name of that. That's a bunch of horseshit. Just keeping it real. Be out there with what you do, and people will sense your conviction and your energy. And as long as your intention is straight, you're trying to add increase in other people and attract them to something that is good that can help them, they're going to be okay with it. And the other, if they're professionals, they get it and they will respect you for it. If they're wussies, they're going to whine and complain. Oh my goodness, they're dropping links and dropping domain names and dropping company names. Those people is kind of like the side of the industry I don't like. So anyway, I'm up on stage getting my $60,000 check, and Dave Wood says, so, you've been in this thing since the beginning, right? So you made that money in about 6 months. And I said, well, yeah, Dave, but actually I have not been active because I'm building my primary business in Visalis. I have not been active at all in 3 months. And he says, so you made this money in 3 months? And I said, no, Dave, because I actually set up some marketing to leverage my list, which I'll get into in a second. And that was about 2 weeks worth of work, right? And setting up content, working like an absolute freaking maniac on crack and meth. And not sleeping, my kids not seeing me, my wife wondering what in the hell is he doing in that spare bedroom office, and I was just working my ever-living little butt off to lay down 2 weeks of work, which was actually about a year's worth of work. And then that 2 weeks worth of work laid down a path from my list that I've built that went straight into that funnel. So it was all out work. It was phone calls. It was Skyping. It was messaging on Facebook. I wanted to get it out there before everybody else invited the same people. So it's content, putting them into a funnel, daily mailings, and activity on Facebook. Later, after that 2 weeks of work was done, then it's just maintenance work. As I'm on Facebook, I'm talking about my primary. People come in, they say, hey, how can I get more training? And then bam, boom, boom, I switch them over to a blog. They see a little link. They come in, they see a hippie. They like the hippie. They hate the hippie. I make 60 grand. Right, so that's kind of what it is. And what I'm going to do right now, that was a setup on stage. Here's what was not set on stage because they kicked me off the stage shortly after, is that 2 weeks worth of work has taken me a decade to get done. It's taken me 10 years of blood, sweat, and tears to set it up correctly so that 2 weeks worth of work equals 60 grand. Right? And without killing myself, without being out there every single day running around. So it's 10 years worth of work. So what did I do for 10 years? You guys ready for 6 steps? Here's the Franco formula. This is $100,000. Number one, the very first thing I did is I became a junkie of self-help books. I don't care if they were good or bad books. I read them all because I figured I'm broke and I have a pretty negative attitude. I was a total introvert. I was out of the military. I like to just, live inside of clinics and medical practices and just do little silent stuff. And I was a little bookworm. So I couldn't speak to 2 people at the same time. Even if they were my brothers, I would start getting nervous. Total introvert. So I had to do a lot of work internally. So I spent the better part of about 4 or 5 years while I was in the military from 19 to 23 years old, totally working on my head, on my inner game. Then number one, that's not even number one, that's just, beginner school. Then number one, once I had a pretty good level of confidence about me, I had no social proof, like Toby just said. But what I did 2 things. I taught myself by reading other people's books that had done the same thing to think like a startup entrepreneur. And what I mean by that, when you jump into the internet or network marketing, a lot of people don't even know what it is. Please help me sponsor, please change my diapers, please do this, please do that. Support is great. Training is great, but I'm talking about the will to kill. I'm talking about the will to power and having that tiger eye where with or without your darn sponsor, you're going to feed your family. You're going to make it happen. You're going to get paid. And you have to take on an attitude, think like Mark Zuckerberg back in the Harvard dorms. You got to think like the Google guys when they were first starting. Think like a startup entrepreneur. How do they think? Really quickly, number one, sense of urgency in every single thing that you do. It might be gone tomorrow. Number two, paranoia, a healthy paranoia. Someone's coming to steal my lunch, right? Ryan Blair in his work, Nothing to Lose, he uses the term, I always acted like somebody was going to steal my milk. And you have to kick ass first or be kicked, right? So sense of urgency, this is a new startup entrepreneur's mindset. Healthy paranoia, act like somebody's coming for your baby's lunch. Are you going to let them take food away from your kid's mouth, right? So have that attitude. The other thing of paranoia, my business may be gone tomorrow if I don't do some work today to make it survive. Okay, that's the way I came into it. And a lot of you that really know me, that's what I live and breathe, that healthy sense of urgency. The third thing is, an all-in mindset. You're all in your business. Don't tiptoe around it. Don't say, I want, I'm going to put some more effort when I see that it works for me, whatever the hell that means. It works. If you don't work, it won't work because it can't work because you're a wuss. You're not making it work. So figure out a way, with or without sponsors, with or without team. Now, add in the benefit of having mentors and colleagues and teammates that can help you and support you and help you build your brand and social proof. And now you're unstoppable, absolutely bulletproof, right? 10 feet tall and bulletproof. That's exactly. But even without that, so what? What if Toby decides to retire, go to Atlantis for presidential paradise and just never return? What if Lawrence falls in love with engineering and goes back and gets a job at Raytheon and becomes the next, missile builder and stuff? Whatever. What if your team disappears because the program disappears? You got to be independent. So you have to have that all in, and you have to be an absolute, as a startup entrepreneur, you have to think like an absolute dreamer. You got to be out in space floating because everybody's going to want to bring you down. You have to dream bigger than their negativity brings you down. So at the end of the day, you're still cash flow positive as far as dreaming and attitude. You're still above them in mindset, right? So urgency, paranoia, all-in mentality. You got to be a dreamer. After that, that's how to think like a startup entrepreneur. That's part one of number one. Number two, then, if this is counterintuitive, guys, it'll take you years to get it down, maybe, but then you got to believe. So you got to think and act like a startup entrepreneur, but you got to believe like $1 million CEO. You got to believe like a Ryan Blair. You got to believe like a Mark Zuckerberg. That means you got to believe in, and you have to treat your business accordingly. And this is stability, structure, consistent action, massive action all the time. And if someone raised on your parade and rejects you today and calls your thing a pyramid today, you're not going to bow out tomorrow. You're consistent, and this is the counterintuitive part. After all that emotional stuff of the startup entrepreneur, which is pure emotion, this one you kind of have to rein and be emotionally pulled back, because negative crap will happen. You will get penguined, you will get slapped, you'll get YouTube banned, you'll get Facebook kicked out. All kinds of stuff is going to happen to you. But you have to have that inner fortitude, that stability and strength to keep you in the game. Because why? You're believing like $1 million CEO, right? After you get that done, and a lot of people don't make it in this industry because they ignore this, and then they're out. They quit in 3 months, they quit in 4 months. It might take you 1 or 2 years to get this part done. Whether you're good in business or bad in business, offline or online, you got to get this done. Number two, then you got to think about, this is what I did, my personal formula, why I'm here after 10 years full-time without kissing anybody's ass. Number two, positioning plus posture, right? You got to position yourself in this industry, especially on the internet, not as a guru, not as a know-it-all, but as a servant leader, a teacher, a natural-born teacher. You got to be teaching now. What do I mean by that? A lot of times people show up their first day at Project Mayhem or Toby's mastermind, group, these Facebook groups, and the very first thing that they post that establishes their brand is, hey, I'm clueless, I still haven't made money, I'm going to act on this thing if it works for me. Someone please help me. I'm wounded on the side of the road. And that becomes their brand. And then if nobody answers their post in 2 seconds, they post it like 1,000 times in all kinds of groups to see who's going to come and give them a bottle or change their diaper. Now you just shot yourself not in the foot, you shot yourself in the head. Okay, that's very important, guys. Your positioning and your posture. Be authentic, be genuine, but be teaching now. What do I mean by that? Part number three, after you get that knowing in your head, okay, how do I do that? Well, number three is find, this is all Toby has done, Lawrence has done it in different ways, I've done it in different ways for 10 years, but you have to find where your market is hanging out. Where are these people? It's 99% of the people in this industry are always going to be newbies. They've always been newbies. It's new people, so you don't have to get a PhD in anything to make a lot of money. Find where your market is hanging out. Is it on Facebook groups? Is it on betternetworker.com? Is it in, whatever? Go find where they're at. And then before blabbing away about how clueless you are, don't do that. Listen to them, right? Compliment them, add increase into them, jump into some conversations, but don't show your cards. Listen. Because as you see them post, they don't come to our training. So they're going to be blabbing about all their problems, their challenges, their issues. Guess what? write them down, list them. This is all I did. And now you can go back to your training center, whether that's Empower Network, whether that's Google, whether that's YouTube, whatever you're using as a training, or even your team in these Facebook groups that we have. Now you can go into the training and ferret out, dig for their solutions. You go back into those free environments and you teach them the solutions, right? And now your name becomes the brand of Ask Franco, because he's got the solution, right? I could disappear for a couple of days when I was brand new, head into Google, head into discussion forums, go wherever I need to go to find their answer. Then I would come back. Of course, I would post it on my blog and write an email series about it. And I would then say, hey, remember that question you had the other day? I've got the solution. As a matter of fact, if you go to my training site at xyc.com and opt in for my training list, I'm going to give you all the solutions you need, and I'll send you a Hershey bar. Right? So now you're branded and you're building a list. So number 4, that kind of piggybacked on that. Invite them to you, right? Because this is what I've done for 10 years, guys. Write this down, real big freaking letters. Build your list. When? All the time, every time, any day, all day, you're building your list. A lot of people tell me, hey, Franco, how come when you post on stuff, you always have like links, to this capture page, that capture page? And I laugh. I'm like, well, did you like the content that I gave you for free? Yeah, it was great. Did you get on my list? No, go get on my list. I'm not going to give you anymore. Right? You're always building your list. If you're going to give away valuable content and be a servant leader, the least they can do is understand you didn't charge them $1,000. Get on your list and get more good stuff. So I built a philosophy that if I'm going to be out there helping people for free, it's not for free. You don't get a free lunch. You're going to be on my list. And through the years, can you imagine? I've owned every single training center, not because I liked it. There's some that I hate. I can't stand them because I think they're a bunch of BS. But I'm a member, full paid, $100 a month. Don't make shit from it, right? And I don't like their philosophy or their approach, but guess what? I'm in there to help people. They've got people there. Well, most of them are ghost towns now because of what's happening in our teams and stuff. But I go in there to help people because that's where they're at. So why would I want to spend $10,000 in marketing when I can spend $47 a month and see the people that the gurus hacked in there anyway? Right? They deposit them in a training site. You guys getting this? Because this is $1,000. They spend $10,000 in advertising, postcards, online, offline, whatever. They sell them, right? They hype them up and they sell them like what Lawrence has been talking about, and then they dump them in a training community. Well, Mama didn't raise a fool, right? And my wife, sure enough, didn't marry one. Won't allow me to be one. So before I spend 50 grand in marketing, she says, why don't you find where these people are getting sold and where they're hanging out anyway? Go serve them. This was Pammy's formula. Pammy taught me this. And goes, why are you going to spend all that advertising if all the gurus are doing it for you anyway and dumping them in community sites? Just become a member for $47, hero, and get in there and teach them. And then invite them to your training and really teach them, really train them, and take the BS away from it. There's a lot of gurus out there that don't like us, me included. And it's because I don't mess around with people's kids' future. I teach them exactly what's going on, and I teach them step by step. If they're too lazy to take action, at least they knew Franco told them the right way and what's really going on in the head of this industry, right? So I can go to sleep at night thinking, you know what? I was honest, I was genuine, I was authentic. There we go. If they join me, great. If not, at least they know not to use that as an excuse. Ignorance is not their excuse anymore. And then as you begin to invite them to your list, you're going to have to follow up with emails, right? You're going to deliver content. You're going to love on them. You're going to do everything that Toby just told you to do, because that's today's attraction marketing. That's all you need. And once you do that, that's all it could be very, very simple. After that, you can push them through GST. You guys know what I'm talking about in Visalis. You can push them right through that funnel. Or if you're an Empower, you can push them right to the hippie. You are done. There's no complicated BS to get lost in for 18 months. That's it. Now, however, every single email you send and follow up, every other post, spread them out sporadically, every blog post that you do, whatever you're doing to serve people, whether it's emails or content on a blog or Facebook, whatever, your links are on your pieces. Your link, do not be shy. Remember what I talked about at the very beginning. You just started $1 million business as a contractor. You're not going to hide your brand, your logo, what you're doing, what you're running, what you're building. Get your links in there. It's the least they can do is click and see your funnel, right? And what does that do? When they start seeing my links, and I'm giving away training for 10 years, right? They're immediately, human dynamics is going to take over. Human nature is going to call them to move, to send you a private message, an email, or a phone call and say, what are you doing? Does it work? Hey, Franco, what do you do? I see you're doing that crazy program. Does it really work? That little shake really works. That little whatever really works. You know, and they just want to find someone, like Lawrence says, that they can trust. And that's where all I come back with. This is all I come back with, and this is counterintuitive in this crazy little industry, but I do not just close them into a program. All I come back with is, bro, grab some coffee and call me. Give me a call. Let's boogie right now, me and you. Let's just have a conversation. And so I act like a consultant. I call them to get on the phone with me. I want to speak to them. I want to Skype with them. It's not about churning them into a check for me. It's actually about finding out, what do you want in life? Where do you want to go? How soon do you want to get there? And let me position you in the best way. But when you do that, when you have a simple conversation with another human being that everybody else is being taught not to do, when everybody else is being taught not to do this, and you are the one that does not ignore human nature, and you touch another human being at the heart, at the soul, and have an honest conversation, who the heck do you think they're going to come and join later? Right? So that's how I leverage all of the crazy crap that's being taught out there, and I just smile. That's hilarious. You know, and I do the exact opposite. But does this take work? Yes. Can you do this overnight? No. Minimum 2-3 years. Minimum to do it right and establish. Do I want you to still do it? Absolutely. The internet's going nowhere. You may as well start laying down that groundwork. But is there a smarter way for you to make faster money up front as you lay down your social proof and all of this stuff that's going to now? But remember, what's the payoff? Oh, Franco, I don't want to spend 2 years to do that. I just want fast money. Okay, cool. Then you're not going to have the ability to tell someone, I laid down 2 weeks worth of work and I got paid almost $100,000 and I haven't been active in 90 days because I'm on fire for my primary. Go tell me about that. You know, if you don't start laying down the bricks right now to set something like that up, you'll never be able to set up an automation where you'll have people coming to you and they already like you, they trust you, they fell in love with you, they fell in obsession with you. I look at Layla's wall and Toby's wall, and it's like my reality TV show. I love them. I'll join them in anything they do because they lay down the work and they've documented it. You know, a life worth living is a life worth recording. Document what you're doing and lay down content like that, and that's how you do it. But it's not fast, guys. So did I make that money with 2 weeks worth of work? Technically, maybe yeah, but I got to there with 10 years worth of experience and work and sweat and blood. So I just wanted to leave you with that. On the back end, the last step, number 6, is after they're looking at your links, they're calling you, you're having conversations, you're building your primary. Now on the back end, you can email market to a family and you can take care of them by going on Facebook, communing with them, going to events in your primary, spending time with them, breaking bread and building relationships, because that creates your wealth, because the wealth is not up front. The wealth is in residual income, and residual income is not just checks. Residual income is people that love you and come flying 2,000 miles away from all around the world just to give you a hug. We had so many cases like that, right, Lawrence, this weekend, where people flew
Crazy.
all around the world just to give them a hug, just to give me a hug. That's residual income. That's a family. We're never going to leave those people. They're never going to leave us. But if you don't get real and lay down the real work as you work a smart funnel with a team and with leverage and keep it simple, you're not going to get there. You're going to quit and then start over every 90 days. So I hope that that added some value to your life tonight, guys. I'm going to give the mic back to Lawrence.
That's awesome,
And all
man.
I can say about this team is this is freaking unbelievably awesome that you have access to this kind of thinking and training and real mentorship, guys. You can do anything you set your mind to, but with a mastermind club like this, you're not going to sleep tonight. I know it and you know it, so let's just party out. Back to you, Lawrence. I'm good, man.
Dang, dang, dang. That's Franco Gonzalez, man. Didn't even know who this cat was. And everyone who's been on the internet longer than I have goes, you don't know Franco? I was like, dude, I just don't know who Franco is. And then I learned who Franco is. I'm like, okay, this guy's serious. This guy knows his stuff. And the deal is, look, he hit it on the head. The thing I picked up is when everyone's doing the same thing and you do the opposite, you actually make some waves that way. If you were at the Atlanta event, do you want to know why I said, how many people in this room have I physically spoken to? and there's a lot of people out of the 1,200 people raise their hands. How does a guy who's part-time physically speak to that many people? Because that's how I build my business. I understand people. That's my business. That's my list. I want you to know, if I gave you a call 2 years ago and you haven't done anything, and you met me at the Atlanta event and you go, dude, Lawrence, I've been on your list for so long, I've seen your growth. And then I go, well, what have you been doing? He's like, I haven't been doing anything. But I still remembered you giving me a call. I mean, just think about that. Do you really want to go through life just selling stuff? Really? I mean, if you do, you might as well just be a great scam artist. I mean, just be a great scam artist, make some good money, and then live on an island somewhere. You know what I mean? But if you really wanted to have a lifestyle that your kids can be like, yeah, my dad has helped that person save his house. My dad has helped that person leave his job. My dad has helped that person believe in themselves. That's priceless, man. That's priceless. Cynthia, if you are on, girlfriend, take the mic. I'm gonna give you presenter. I'll keep on talking to you till you pull out. And here's Cynthia, social cowgirl. Probably everyone here is friends with her. And if you're not, you probably want to, or at least subscribe to her. She's one of our go-to people that I always want to ask, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Because she is not a traditional network marketer, but she's built in the past, and she builds through people. So Cynthia, you there? Well, I'll keep on talking.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm at my mom's house, and so I'm not sure about the internet quality. But you know, basically, there's a lot of things that Toby and Franco and Lawrence have all touched on that was also, you know, stuff that I'm going to kind of breeze through some because they've already touched on it. But you know, one of the main things that you guys are probably consistently hearing is how we all have multiple sources of income. You know, there's certain things we do online, things that we do offline. There's different reasons why. We've all obviously become successful at what we do, and certain things that you can learn from all of us. So, you know, amazing content from some leaders in, you know, more than one industry. So, you know, this is valuable stuff here. Something else that I also wanted to bring out is it only important to have multiple sources of income, but also, as many of us experienced internet marketers know, as multiple sources of marketing. Several of us on this call have been through things like a Google slap, or how difficult it is to get Facebook pay-per-click approved now, the YouTube slap, and things like that. You know, we all talk about marketing. We've focused a lot on Facebook right now. But you know, make sure you diversify in your marketing as well. There's a lot of other things out there besides Facebook that's social media related. You know, Twitter, YouTube, along with Facebook are probably the biggest ones that I use personally. But one of the key reasons why I personally have especially stopped doing quite so much pay-per-click and paid advertising and started going over to the social media advertising, which would be, you know, a lot of free advertising, is we've seen lately with the Win and the Panda, basically slaps is what I call them from Google, is the search engine world is changing a lot. You know, you can't just go buy some of those tools that did all this secret backlinking and article submission things and get ranked with Google. Google is figuring out how to detect who's using, who's not. You know, who's getting genuine organic likes and shares and things like that through social media, and so that's a really key thing. And so it's always good to just team up with a group, whether you're in one or whether you start your own, where you can syndicate each other's content out. Every time you write a blog post, syndicate it out to all of your backlinking. There's lots of tools that you can use to automate this. I've got a tool that I developed. If you want more information on that, you can message me. But you know, basically, that's how I started manually, you know, trying to figure out the easiest way to automate some of my social media syndication. But I really believe that that's a way that Google is turning. They're going to try and track as much as possible who is organically shared, liked, you know, pictures posted on Pinterest, whatever, and give that a look at some of the things that you've seen in the past. I did a training on Sunday there in Atlanta that was mostly just based on like Facebook and Google, and it was a fairly long, I think we ended up about an hour and a half training that I did with Scott Zlateff, and we recorded it. So if you guys are on my list, I'll send out an email here about viewing that recording. because I know that we were kicked out of the lobby on Friday, and so what I planned on doing Sunday we didn't do just because of all the chaos in the hotel. So I did record it, and we'll make that available to those that couldn't fit in this one little hotel room. But you know, the main gist of it all is just to be successful in internet marketing. You really need a PhD in internet marketing. None of us have just had some get-rich-quick scheme or some secret or some little genie in a bottle that comes out. You know, we all spent years generally online learning how to do some form of internet marketing, and you have to be prepared to take the time and spend the money to get that education. You know, I had a call today from somebody, and they really didn't want to spend any money on anything I was doing, but they wanted me to personally mentor them. You know, and there's just, you know, that's not something that happens. I mean, if you want an education in internet marketing, you need to be able to commit time and money both into what you're learning, just like you're not going to get somebody to send you to college for free. You know, you need to treat it the same way. And, you know, the only fast track that there really is just to join a team that has already succeeded and has experience, you know, which is a lot of the way that we've teamed up together. You know, those of us, we all met on the internet. We've had similar interests. You know, we've done things together in different companies, and we learn from each other. We all have different strengths, and so like Lawrence said, when he needs something on Facebook, he can turn to me. You know, we've all got each other to call. We all got each other to do webinars with the cohesive team and what we're doing right now, and that's been a huge success. I know Chuck Marshall came up to me, like he was admiring me for what we've done in Visalis as a team and was wanting to talk to me specifically about what we've done. And he was, I forget, does anybody remember what rank he was? But he was top. I know his check was well over $100,000 in the Power Network, and was what we've done, created this team and our leadership and the value that we're providing for our team. Getting out, whether you meet people at events or in person on Facebook, other people, would lead to much bigger things in the future that you just have no idea. I mean, I don't know. If I had not met Lawrence and Toby and had them bring me into this group that we've got now, be, you know, opportunities that I would have missed out on. So, you know, be out there, be available, and meet people and things. And I guess, you know, when it comes back to Facebook, people making is they're out marketing their company, their programs, their marketing, whatever it is that's making them money, and they're not building relationships, not being a real person. You know, the key to success on Facebook is people seeing that you're a real person. People see pictures of my horse. They knew when she was in the hospital. They see pictures of my son, things that we do, and things like that. And so you need to post just as much about your life that's the real you as you do business you. You know, don't just go out there and spam things all over the place. Provide content and be valuable. You need to keep it fresh. You know, post regular updates, photos and videos. People like to see what you look like, and they watch videos and they get a feel for who you really are. And I can't tell you how many people came up at this event and because they get to know me through my pictures, my Facebook profile, and my Facebook pictures and such. Just being out there and posting that stuff, you know, people need to be able to know, like, and trust you before they're ever going to buy from you. So don't start off with the buying phase. Obviously, you know, you start with the relationship. And probably the only other major mistake that I can just, you know, put out there to provide a little content to you guys is I see a lot of people trying to use fan pages. And I personally am not a believer in fan pages, even at my level. If you're somebody like crazy, you know, that to fan page and put some content out there. But the only thing I use a fan page for right now is because to do any sort of a website or lead capture page within Facebook, you have to do that through your fan page. You can't do it through your profile. Take somebody from my profile and send them over to a lead capture page or some video thing that's on a fan page. I don't ever post regularly on my fan page. I rarely even check in. And the reason I say that is because I've seen a lot of even experts up on stage, and they're telling people, you know, oh, go build a fan page and start doing this. Well, what happens, if you, for those of you that don't have a fan page, is when you switch over to using Facebook as a fan page, you basically have disconnected your communication with your users. You can't view me as a person, what I'm doing, what I'm posting. The only interaction you have with people themselves is if they come to your fan page and post on your wall. When you view your fan page, all you're seeing is the newsfeed of other fan pages. So why should we all go create a personal profile and a fan page to go over to use the fan page and react with personal people, real people, not businesses, on through our fan page? All we're doing is our time and energy spent maintaining a profile and maintaining a fan page. So for like the majority of the people on this call, I bet 99.9% of you, because I'm one of them, don't bother, stressing out on your fan page and what it looks like and things. So many people get caught in just a tech wall, and fan pages are one of them that I just really preach about, because I see other gurus out there teaching it, and I don't think people realize how unpersonal a fan page really is. You want to use it for a lead capture page, that's great. A lot of people say, well, yeah, but I have 5,000 friends. Is make sure that you enable subscribers, because that basically puts an unlimited amount of people that can view your profile by unlimiting subscribers. And I've got some tools that I use to clean out users. For example, I'm at 5,000 friends. There's ways you can clean out the least 5% active people on your list. So if that's some place where you're at and you want to know what I use, just message information and talk to you about it. But I think the key thing a lot of people struggle with in our industry is really just taking action. That's how I became, I think, popular as the social cowgirl on the internet. Is I did .com on live and become the social cowgirl until May of 2011. And so we're on month 13 for me, basically, as being the social cowgirl. And what I did was I bought a course to invest in my internet marketing education. And so I went through that course last summer. I did homework. I did the assignments at the very end. I completed this course, and I submitted my case study. And that case study that I did is how I ended up on that boat in August with all of the gurus that you've all have probably seen lots of pictures of. If you haven't, they're on my Facebook. But basically, anybody that's anybody in the internet marketing world that spoke on stage was on that boat, and that's what got me, my start in this. And what I did to win that really was the easiest thing I've ever done. And it was only how many people out there, of course, completed it, done the homework assignments and everything. I mean, everybody buys courses, they watch the first couple of modules and they quit. And so the reason it was so easy was based on sales. We created a webinar, we had our own info product, and I think I sold $40 webinar, $40 product. So it wasn't like sold thousands of something. It was just nobody else completed the course and took action. And so that was a real eye-opener to me, just how few people really do, once you spend the money, complete the course. The main reason that the Empower Network was developed was because people hit a tech wall, and so sometimes necessarily buying those courses to learn how to do that stuff isn't as important now, because when you see a lot of what about all of us on this call are doing, yeah, we've gone down that alley, we've techie stuff, we've taken all that training, and we've turned around, and the two programs we are in are two that are basically eliminating having to know a ton of any sort of tech anything. Build your blog for us, and that's about all we really do. Is we blog, we might do different people do a little bit different advertising, some paid traffic and things, niches that we're good in, but we only have like one or two things that we're good in. Lawrence does tons of solo ads. My experience was more in Facebook pay-per-click, and it's just finding one thing that works for us and doing that well. But for the most part, don't feel like you have to go out there and learn every single little trick in the book before you take action. Get any program that you like, get with a team that is a good fit for you. Don't waste your time setting up blogs, getting domain names, having a zillion autoresponder emails. Just focus on what brings in money. Go out and meet people, build relationships, and present what you've got to people in a non-spammy manner. And really just the last point I'd like to make is just become part of groups, meet others. You know, me, Tam, Toby, Franco, we're all online. We join forces through meeting on the internet. And so find people that you have a good group with, you know, that you just fit in with, that you have similar interests and whatnot. And so, you know, that's pretty much, I guess, you know, the extent for my advice for this evening. Unless anybody has any questions.
Cool. Well, just throw them up on the Facebook group. Man, thanks for sharing. It's all about the group, and we understood that, and you know, it's just a cool situation where we're able to leverage each other. And I just thought it was pretty neat to be able to work with everyone here on this team, and I think it's just awesome. We got this. I like to call him a kid. But the dude's a pretty smart guy. He's part of a larger organization that makes $1 million earners. And I want to bring out BJ Dollar. Go ahead, Money. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you and make you a presenter. But I'll keep talking to you until you come on, my man. BJ is an interesting guy. You know, the first time I met him, I thought he was a lot older than what he is. I think he just dropped off. BJ, you there? No, he dropped off. Well, until BJ comes, there you go. BJ, you there? There he goes. I still can't hear you, my man. I'll just keep talking to you until your mic gets hooked up. BJ, I think is like, what, you like 20 or something? And on Facebook, I thought he was a 35-year-old man. It just shows it doesn't matter how old you are. You can absorb a lot of information if you are around people who know more than you, period. If you're the only person who is trying to build your business and you're the smartest person in the room, well, guess what? You will probably make the most money in your room. And if your room is a bunch of people who don't make money, you don't make money. I mean, let's just be real, right? You just don't make money. And that's just horrible. That's just horrible. So this is why we wanted to build a unit of people who basically know what they're doing. And we're not saying you can't do it on your own, but what we are saying is it is so much easier when you're actually in a group of other marketers doing the same thing. See, if you haven't noticed, every single person who's been speaking has made a lot of money in Empower Network and has made a lot of money in Visalis. So that's what we do. So there's no conflict of interest. We're all on the same freaking team. You know what I mean? We're all connected. And so by all means, you can build whatever you want to build. You can do whatever you want to do. But just know, how hard is it going to be when you have no one to speak about? If you have no one you can build a relationship with, because there's no common thread. And so our common thread was, well, hey, look, I'm Lawrence Tam, and I want to work with you. And I leveraged my position in Empower Network to do that. And then I knew I can't do everything. Now, some guy at the event called me the king of outsourcing, which I think is hilarious. I'm still learning. But what I do know is there's many people I work with who know a lot more than me. And so instead of me trying to say, hey, just join me, I'll train you, that's BS. Because, I mean, come on, there's only so many hours in a day. And I was part-time, and now people think I'm full-time. I'm really a part-time marketer. I mean, let's just be real. All right? I am a part-time marketer, but I just work very hard in those amount of time, in that amount of those hours. And the deal is, for you to learn from other people, you have to buy in to wanting to work with them. Versus, let me just see if I can slam you into a program and see how much money I can make from you. No, I don't think so. That's just not how things go. You know what I mean? Well, let's see. BJ is. I'll bring him out later. Debbie, if you're around, I'm gonna unmute. You're unmuted. Debbie, you hear my girlfriend?
I'm here.
All right. Hey, Debbie Turner. How much do you make in Power Network?
36,000.
36,000. But how long have you been in internet marketing?
I got started in 2007. So
2007. So don't believe the hype that you can do it in 30 days. Now, some might,
right.
But the average person, you got to give some serious development. And I called you one day, didn't I?
You sent me an email through Facebook. Yeah.
Sent you an email. Hey BJ, hold off. Let me talk to Debbie real quick. I thought I talked to you one time. I think I was walking through the woods, and I think we, I think we,
Oh, snap. Snap. Yeah,
right?
I remember what it was. It was something about another marketing system. We had like a 3-minute conversation. Oh, yeah, I remember now. Thanks. I forgot about that.
So now think about that. That's craziness. You know what I mean? That's craziness.
Yeah.
And that's BJ's. Is that BJ's wall? That's BJ's wall. Well, do you want to train on something? I mean, by all means, I'll give you the presenter. If not, we can throw it to BJ. If
Yeah.
you just want to have a conversation
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah, I have some pretty strong thoughts I'd like to share.
Do you want the?
Some of this, has already been mentioned,
Okay.
but sometimes when you hear it, coming from a different perspective, show my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, can y'all see my screen? It's my Facebook wall here.
There it goes.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I got
Can you
you.
hear me? All right. So a lot of people come into the business, home business, make money online or make money offline, whatever industry, and they come in, they're so beat up because they've been put in a box all their life. Do this, go here, go to this school, get this education, get up here, have lunch here, go to the bathroom here, come home here. And because of your income, this is the only food you can have. These are the gifts under your Christmas tree. This is the food on your table. And people, it's like they have such a hard time getting out of that box and getting out of their way to create success, because we all deserve success. But when you're trying to get out of the box and you're trying to make things happen for you, and you're trying to do it by yourself, it almost seems impossible. And that's one of the reasons, in my opinion, that our industry is just, so high failure rate, 98% failure rate, is because they don't have people to wrap around them and to say, here's, you want to make money, here's what we're going to do. Let me take you by the hand, let me introduce you to the team. And then together as a group, we all go in the same boat, down the same river, to our dreams, to things that we want to accomplish. And what I see a lot of, and I saw it again this weekend, was a lot of the pain of really being in that box is masked by the question, well, how do I do this? How do I generate these leads? Or how do I build my list? And really, my response is, well, I'm going to answer that, but before I do, tell me what you're reading right now. What kind of audios are you listening to? What are you doing to grow yourself? And it's amazing that nobody is taking that step. Nobody is preparing their mind, paving that path, clearing the sticks and tumbleweeds, dust bunnies, whatever it was that you called them, but they're not paving that path that's going to lead to their success. Our minds are such powerful things, and when we don't have our mind in the game, we come to this entrepreneurial table with all these baggage and hang-ups, and we're still stuck in this box, it's just very, very difficult to go and grow. And you have to have more than just, I want to pay the bills, that's why I'm going to do a business. And that's usually what most people say. When they call me, I say, hey, so what has you in a position where you're looking to, do something different with the home-based business? And it's always like, well, I got to pay the bills, I've got some medical bills, I want to make the house payment. It's like, I don't hear about the dreams. I only hear about the things they have to do. I don't hear about the things they want to do. And so if you're looking to come into a business and to achieve success, you have to have a vision that's way bigger than the bills. What is it that you want to do? For me, and for everybody's different. For me, there's a lot of the world I still want to see. I don't want to get to the end of my life and live in the what ifs. And so I don't know if you guys have seen the movie, came out a long time ago. The bucket list. I'm sure everybody here has.
Yeah.
But I hope you're getting, the things on your bucket list done, the hot air ballooning, the white river rafting, the climbing Mount whatever. But for me, I also want to take care of my parents. I don't know that insurance is going to be there to take care of them in their final years, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to establish orphanages. If you know my story, I was a foster parent for 15 years, and I still work in community outreach with foster kids and foster parents and social workers, and I want to establish orphanages. I want to have outreach program for kids. So when I get up in the morning and I see I need to work on my business today, I have that on my vision board. I've got those orphanages and the kids, and it's like, I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. I'm on my way, and we're going to make this happen. And thousands of lives will be affected and changed because my vision was so much bigger than paying the bills. And if you don't have that vision, and a lot of people put that off. You know, it's one of the first things I tell them to do. Figure out your why and get that down. And they skip that. They just want to, well, no, just show me how to generate leads. And they totally skip the personal development. They totally skip the mindset and making their why. You know, they've got to be willing to turn the TV off instead of market or make calls. The other thing I see a lot of is people just don't believe in themselves. They don't love themselves. They're not okay with themselves. They're judgmental with themselves. And maybe the past businesses and stuff that they've been in before have just embedded this belief system in themselves that they're not good enough, that they don't measure up, that they're too fat, too skinny, too thin, wrong color, wrong faith, I mean, whatever. And they seem to take that as, well, this is just the pill I have to swallow, instead of you know, taking the steps to get rid of that. So if you're listening to this and you're new or you've struggled and you're saying things like, oh, it's hard, or I can't, I'm confused, I'm frustrated, you know, even if we showed you, so like what if I just answered that question and said, okay, if you go here and place these solo ads, you're going to generate, you know, 200 leads, and if you do it every week, you're going to generate another 200 leads. And so we show you how to market, we show you how to get like 20,000 leads into your funnel, right? And you've got this big list, and your call to action is, hey, call me, or let's get started. And so they do. If you have a belief system about yourself that you don't measure up, guess what? You are going to self-sabotage that phone call. Your words are going to say, hey, join me. Join our team, join me, do this, this, this. But when it comes down to it, there's something in that law of attraction, that era that says, you know, do this and join with me, or join the business, but don't join me because I'm not good enough. And so I would encourage you to, you know, if there's anything at all about your mindset where you doubt yourself, you just got to fix it. It's like take 2 steps backwards and bathe yourself in personal development. Franco mentioned it. I think probably everybody on here, because we've been down that path. We know what it's like to start, make mistakes, fall on our face, and get punched from the left, punched from the right, tripped, pushed, the whole thing. And personal development teaches you how to get up and start over and stand up, brush yourself off. It's how you handle the rejection out there. And then one of the other things I see people failing is because they don't have that life support system. When I got into internet marketing, online marketing back in 2007, I was a real estate agent. Before that, I was a paralegal and worked for attorneys and family court judge and all that, but my income was capped, and I thought, the heck with this, I'm doing all the work and they're getting all the fame and the, you know, fancy cars and the vacations, and so I thought, you know, forget it. I get into real estate, do really, really well, real comfortable with the lifestyle until the economy handed me a pink slip, and I thought, holy crud, you know, I've got to find something to replace this income. I can't, it had to be significant. And I ended up, you know, getting involved with things where there was not that team support. And I can't begin to tell you how difficult it is when you feel like you're a one-man band. You don't have people in your speed dial that you can pick up the phone and say, hey, do you have a resource for this? Or I need a phone call with you, with this person for that. Or, you know, how do you do this? Or like, we can call Cynthia and say, hey, you know, what about Facebook, this or that? You've got to have a team, and I call it your life support team, your life support system. And without that, without people who can wrap around you it's no wonder that people fail. And besides that, really, people want close friends. They want relationships. They want support. They want that hands up. And then you want to be, just think how good it's going to feel when you finally master some of this stuff, which isn't going to take too long. But how good is that going to feel when now you can be the one online saying, here, let me give you a hand. Here's, let's grab my hand and let's do this together, you and me and the team. People want to belong to community. They want to belong. They want to connect. They want to feel unconditional love. And how much fun is it to do business with a team rather than by yourself? You know, I don't like sitting at my computer all by myself day in and day out. And this weekend, you know, it's always a reminder at these events because people do come up to you and they say, I mean, one guy came from UK and it was just ending and he said, I'm so glad I caught up with you because I brought 12 people from my team from the UK and I said, you cannot leave until you meet Debbie Turner. You just got to give her a hug and meet her because she cares. And it's like, that's wow. You know, we're humbled by that. Every leader on this team, every person on this call, we are humbled but by just being able to serve others, and you can get there too. So, you know, believing in yourself, loving yourself, being okay with yourself, and getting that, if there's anything about that that's broken, don't self-sabotage. Don't let it go on any longer. Get some help. You can read, listen to audios. If you need to get outside counseling, do it. Do whatever you have to do to pave your path to success so that you can go and do and have and be anything you want. And then real quick, the seven real fast final thoughts here. And Cynthia mentioned it, creating your know, like, and trust. People will buy you. So like if you're saying, well, why would people join you instead of somebody else from the team? A lot of people are going to join with who they resonate with. And that's why your story is so important. So don't be ashamed, man. It doesn't matter your job, your career, the failures you've had. I was a successful real estate agent and ended up $110,000 in credit debt because I was robbing Peter to pay Paul to take care of my $60,000 a year advertising budget when no homes were selling all of a sudden. I had a couple of homes go through foreclosure, been through a divorce. These aren't things we're proud about. But you know what? If I can go through that and then come out the other end and walk across the stage, you know, and where people can see, hey, Debbie's okay. It works out. Then we can take the lemons that life has dealt us and share our testimony. These are testimonies, and say, you know what, it's okay. Pick yourself up. It's okay you had to go through foreclosure. It's okay that, you know, you drive a dumpy truck. It's okay that, you know, whatever. We're real people. So share your story. And just, you know, really how you're going to do that is say, you know, I used to do this and life was great, but then this happened. And then share the pain of that. And then you can say, but all that changed when I aligned myself with a team of successful entrepreneurs who wrapped around me. They were my life support system. And now, look where I'm at today. I'm so glad I took this step. And even if you haven't arrived where you're going to be yet, you are on that journey. So you can say, I'm well on my way to accomplishing all the things that I had set out to do, you know, years ago. So share your story. And when you're following up with people through email, you know, we've talked about adding pictures and videos on Facebook, but don't forget to put that in your email. Let people see, when you open up your emails, how many of them have a picture at the bottom? Isn't that fun? Because you actually get to see the picture of the person. And make sure you've got your contact info there. Don't be a secret agent. Don't hide behind your website. You know, say, here's my number. Connect with me on Facebook. Here's my phone number. Give a call to action to connect. Don't assume that they're going to feel comfortable calling you. So let them know, hey, I answer my phone. I'm really excited to hear from you, hopefully later today. You know, I'll be waiting for your call. I'll expect your call. You know, give a friendly call to action like that. Of course, email often with what's up in your life. Cynthia touched on that again. And, if your kid's having a birthday or your son graduated or you're taking a family trip, talk about that because that makes you real to them. And again, people want to join and partner and connect with people they know, like, and trust, or feel like they know, like, and trust, and that you're just a real person, you're reachable, you care, and they get involved with your life. And so by the time they call and talk to you, it's like, hey, what's up? We've been friends for a long time. And it is so, so fun. So I know it's getting late. I tried to talk fast, but that was on my heart to share. Lawrence, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Thank you. Hey, that's the truth. I mean, you don't need to hide. You don't get to be a superstar. It's life. It's definitely life. Hey, BJ, I'm gonna unmute you and pull you out, man. Let me see. I got you.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you, buddy.
All right, good.
This is BJ Dollar. We spent some good time, man. First time meeting you, and this is why you get to events. And BJ is the kiddo of our mastermind unit, but he's got some good skills, and I want to show you what BJ's about. Go ahead, BJ. Go ahead and take it on.
All right. Well, thanks, Lawrence. Basically, I had to drop what I was doing real quick. I either forgot that we were doing this tonight, or I just got the memo too late. But thank you, Franco. I'd like to throw that out there. So you got me hooked up with the link so I could get out here. I was actually in the middle of dinner. I was like, oh crap, I gotta go. So I bounced. I came home, and as you can see, I was doing technical difficulties earlier. Couldn't even find my mic. Now I'm all set up and ready to go. But yeah, I real quick, because I just was kind of caught off guard, put up 3 quick things here that I wanted to talk about. And Cynthia touched on one, you touched on one, and Franco touched on another one. So I'm kind of just adding on to what y'all have said. And really, I say it's the 3 steps to making it in this industry. The number one and most important step is changing your mindset. Because I've talked to so many people in my life that have either doubted their own abilities or doubted others' abilities, and really the potential that they have could blow out of the water whatever they wanted to do, but it's just the mindset that they carried kept them from doing exactly what they needed to or exactly what they wanted to achieve their goals. So once you change your mindset, and once you start believing in yourself and believing that you really can topple any challenge, any object, any goal that you put in your way, a lot of crazy things are possible. Anything is achievable, and it's just a matter of going out and doing it. And I would say probably 85% of the battle, 85% of failure, 85% of the struggle really is because they don't believe. Their mindset is not right. If your mindset isn't right, you are losing the battle right now. So that's my number one thing I would just like to put out there is you gotta believe in yourself. You gotta believe that what you are trying to achieve is possible, and you gotta just not hold yourself back, make no excuses, and really have an empowering mindset about you. My second thing, and one of the things that I've always touched on, being a social person that I am, and being a basketball player by trade growing up, is find a team that is already heading where you want to go. It's not rocket science to figure out that 2 hands are better than 1, that 5 people working together on something, they're going to achieve it, and they're going to get it done a lot faster and a lot easier than just you doing it by yourself, especially if they're like-minded and they're all about the same goal. So that's why I was so excited when I got to meet you, Lawrence, and got to hook up with y'all. And since then, I've met Cynthia and Franco and Toby and Layla, and it's been a blessing to my life and to my team's life. I know my mom, Lisa Diane, and Uncle Brian Addison, we've really just been doing it as a threesome up until this point, and now it's like we're part of a group where you are established and you are going, and you're going in the same direction we are. So that's why I like so much, because anybody can form a group and anybody can jump onto a group, but if your team isn't going in the right direction and they're not going in the direction you're trying to go, then they're dragging you down or they're leading you off track. So make sure not only that you go ahead and find a team, but you find a team that's doing what you want to do and that's achieving the goal that you want to achieve. Because they will make your life a lot easier just being able to hop in, plug into some of the stuff they're doing, plug into some systems, plug into some trainings that work, and really also you have a support group now. It's not only about them helping you along the way, it's about them encouraging you. It's about when you feel like falling flat on your face, they not watch you and walk by, but they tell you either to get up or they help you up. And that's the number one thing that teamwork really brings, because in my belief, it takes teamwork to make the dream work. So change your mindset, find a team that is already heading where you want to go, join them. And then my third key, and this is something that Franco touched on earlier, and Franco has taught me myself. I give a lot of my mentoring ship lately to Franco. I believe that if you're not following Franco, if you're not friends with him, you have to. What I say about Franco is every time this man opens his mouth, you should stop what you're doing and listen, because there's nothing but knowledge and greatness coming out. So my third tip is fail until you succeed. Most people go, most people believe that they're not going to do anything right. All they're going to do is right. No, you're not going to only succeed in life. And if you are, your failure's coming. I have to tell you that. And it's hard to say that, but I figured it out myself because my life was on track. My goals were right there where I wanted to be. I was a star basketball player. I was heading to the University of Florida to play college ball, and then I was off to the NBA. And I thought that I had it all under control. Never met failure in my life in basketball. Every challenge that I took on full head of steam, and that I was done because I was willing to put in the time and put in the work. Well, my failure was coming out, and I just didn't see it. Because my last year of high school, I broke the bone that connected my 3 fingers in my shooting hand, and I also injured my knee. So that was it for my basketball career, and that's what actually brought me to internet marketing and joining my mom and joining Lawrence and the rest of our team is my failure at what I thought I was going to do with my life. Now, how does that transfer over into y'all? Well, it transfers over into the network marketing and the internet marketing world as you got to go out there and try some things. How do you know what works and how do you know what doesn't work if you don't try them? I'll give you a real quick instance. I have built several Facebook fan pages for a lot of different people in different industries, salons, actual basketball teams that I coach, just personal Facebook fan pages of mine. And I had to figure out how to get what's working and how to get likes, how to get follows on Twitter. And I did a lot of what I call Twitter spamming. I would go out and I'd search keywords in Twitter, and I would just tweet to people and I would talk to people. Well, what I didn't know is that Twitter actually has a whole bunch of rules against that. I lost about 8 or 9 Twitter accounts. I was suspended about 8 or 9 times before I finally figured out how to become a social marketer within the laws of the social media site that I was using. And if I had not done that, and if I had not failed, and if everything was rolling on Twitter, and if it was exploding, what happens once I've reached the pinnacle of my success, and then I learned a hard lesson like that? It's a lot easier to fail at the beginning than to get all the way up to the top and then crash and burn hard. You'll also find that no one that's ever been successful has not experienced failure at some point in time in their life. So do not ever doubt yourself on failure. Embrace failure, because you take failure as the first step to success. You got to fail to succeed. Rob Four had built a successful 6-figure income, and the way he describes it is he made a tax problem. He made a tax issue, and he got it all ripped away from him. His whole entire empire fallen. He had just not experienced failure yet. He then got it right online, and now he's 10 times more successful than he was in his six-figure business. So had he given up, had he taken failure as, oh, well, this is it, I should never do this, I guess I should go back to the 9 to 5 and I should just give up on myself, where would he be? Where would Donald Trump be? Where would Bill Gates be? Where would every single one of us be had the first time anything happened, we just said, oh, well, that's it. That was my shot. I guess it doesn't work for me. I guess I'm not one of the destined to be successful. I'm not one of the destined to live the lifestyle that I want to live. Did we just go back to mindset? So your mindset must be right while you're failing. That's why mindset is step 1 and failure is step 3. Well, guys, Lawrence, I think I'm going to hand this back over to you because that's about all I had prepared. I would like to say one last time, though, if you're not part of the right team, you're not going where you want to go. And even if you are, you're not getting there as fast as you could be. So find that team that has your like-mindedness, that knows exactly what they want, just like you want, and join them. Change your mindset, and don't be afraid to fail.
Awesome, man. You are a stud for a youngin. Your birthday, born in 1991.
That's right.
Oh man, that is awesome, bro. That is awesome. I want to bring out the Russian mafia man, Alex Z. Alex, if you're on and you're not like hurting somebody in a chair, I want to unmute you. Hopefully, you're not doing something crazy right now. I want to unmute you. Buddy, you on the line, man? Alex.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you, man. And I don't know if you realize this, but when you have a tall Russian dude with a thick accent, it makes people tremble.
That's funny, Lawrence. Yeah, sometimes of that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to add. I mean, basically, in my own opinion, I mean, success comes down to 3 things, really. Yeah, being on the right team, absolutely, so you can get the right training and get access to people that, not just talk the talk, but actually walk the talk, and make things happen, so they can teach you things, how to do things online and offline. And it's all about taking action every day, personal mindset and growth is so important. But if you just, I was in a student mode for a very long time, and I was wondering why nothing's happening, until one day I started taking action, and it's all about, blockage that we all have, like, I'm not good enough, I have an accent, who's going to listen to me? And just one day I said, screw it, just say how it is, and just started taking action, and things started to happen, and I did fail many times, but it's how you handle your failure, if you fall. Just get up and try something else until something starts working. And unfortunately, in our industry, a lot of people fail maybe 1 or 2 times and they quit. So if they're in the right team, I mean, maybe they were on the wrong team, and they just did not believe in themselves and didn't have the right mentors to help them, because we're here to help people who are willing to learn, who are coachable, and are willing to take action. That's pretty much it. I mean, I think. Unless you want me to talk about anything specific.
Yeah, I want to talk about how you scare your people into buying stuff from you. Like, hey, I'm Alex Z, and I think you should just upgrade. And what's funny is that's kind of what Empower Network wants you to do. You know what I mean? Empower Network really doesn't want to train you. And I understand where David wants to go with that, and I totally agree to an extent. And because you're deflecting to a tool, and I mean, Alex is, he'll just say, hey, are you in? You're not? Okay, why don't you go click that link, buy it, and then talk to me? Which makes sense. I mean, that's exactly what the script says. You know what I mean? That's exactly. And a cool thing about Alex is I met you like last October at an event. If I would have never met you at that event, I don't know if we would be talking right now. Like at this type of friendly, hey man, what's going on, and hanging out with you and having a drink. It happens at events. If you haven't noticed
Exactly.
that, it happens at events.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually thinking about that. I was procrastinating from going to live events for some reason, and one day I realized I really gotta get out there and meet the people that I hang out on Facebook, and finally meet them. This is what magic happens when people go to events. Those connections are just so valuable, and will really propel your business to the next level. I mean, it's hard to describe, but it just happens. No matter who you are, what your background is, those connections are just so valuable, and the training you're gonna get, the times. It's really hard to put a price tag on that. It's
It
just
is.
something that everyone needs to do if they have a chance. I mean, the sooner they do it, the better. I mean, the faster they're gonna succeed.
Yeah,
That's the bottom line.
and a lot of the building is before and after the main event. It's just really it's like having a party, but you do the main partying in the after party. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
we learned so much during the after party and the pre party. And sorry, I use those words, it's like a whole Visalis lingo. It's pre party party. We use that so much, but it's the truth, right? It's like having the event is the excuse for having internet marketers to get out of their shell and be real marketers, which is network marketing. It's people, right? Alex gets that, man. Hey, I appreciate it, brother. I know it's kind of late over there. You have to work tomorrow, buddy. But I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I'm just another systems engineer doing this part-time, making things happen, So you don't have to be full-time. You can do it
You
part-time.
can do it part time, man. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
I want to reiterate this. Many of you have filled out applications. Okay, what the application main intent when I drew it up was to learn about people. All right, is to learn about people. So I drew up an application basically to say who is really wanting to learn from me and anyone in my team. And so many of us have this application set up. If you don't have an application with you because you didn't know where it was, go to the person who invited you to this webinar. Okay, go to that actual person. So if Debbie Turner invited you, if Cynthia Social Cowgirl invited you, Madeline Escobar invited you, maybe BJ Dalla, Alex Zubarev, Franco Gonzalez, Toby and Layla Black, myself, Lawrence Tam. There's a lot of people on our team, and it can just go on, and Priscilla McMillan. There's a lot. Okay, there's a lot of us on this team. Okay, many of us at different levels, many of us who are just brand new, many of us who have been in the industry for over a decade. You want to go and hit that person up and go, hey, look, I know you sent me this invite. I need that application. Now, let's say they don't have the application. Really, what the application really is done for is to really invest in people versus just like, see, in Power Network, I understand where they're going, but I don't want to go that route. See, I want to know what people are really doing. And this is why I had a freaking long capture form. So think about it. What Empower Network does is give me your email. And I'm saying, give me your email, give me your phone number, give me your country, give me the person who brought you into Empower. Go ahead and tell me how much money you make. Tell me how much time you spend. Tell me how many years you've been studying. Tell me who your mentor is. And do you really think our team can help you? Like, I'm asking you, I'm really diving in. It's kind of like an interview, and that's the truth, right? And I understand if I want to make a career out of marketing, and I call it marketing because I do internet and offline, right? So I'm a marketer. I need to invest in people, and see, I understand that. I need to invest in people. But here's the fact: Empower Network is geared to not train people. If you got the script, it says don't train your people. All right. Now, I don't know how much I agree with that, but here's the deal. 95% of my time is with my Visalis team, period. End of story. Toby Black is 99.9, and then you add 10% to that, so he's like 109.99% Visalis. Okay. Many of us are 50-50 or higher in Visalis. So when you call us, that's generally on our mind. We're just building our offline business. And there's nothing wrong with that because you should be building other things too. I mean, it's not like we're not going to tell you to only do one thing. We tell you to do what's right for you. And for us to understand that, you got to fill the application out. Now, many of you have filled out application. And the reason we really wanted that is because I am going to be dispersing this application form to my leaders. Why would I want to do that and not just call you myself? I'm having a baby in 2 days. All right, just as plain and simple. I don't have time. I'm sure you're a freaking awesome marketer, and if you're great, you'll stick around and you'll wait for me to come out of hibernation. I wanted to go hard and just go as hard as I could. That was my promise to Toby. And I'm going to go as hard as I can up until the point where I'm going to have this baby, and then I'm just going to settle down. Because, I mean, I didn't know I'd be laid off. I didn't know I'd be full-time in this industry. But I do know is I did all of this because I wanted to spend time with my family. All right. So what I'm going to do is I trust my leaders. I trust that they will move your application to the right person. Say I give an application to Franco, and you were actually wanting to work with Cynthia at a higher level. Well, guess what? He'll call you and we'll talk, and you'll say, hey, look, I've been following Cynthia. Can you patch me through to Cynthia? Fantastic. Frankie will patch you through and send your application to Cynthia. Now, what is the application for? It is not to sign you up into something you don't want. It is actually not to even sign you up. The main intent is for you to know we call people. Think about that. If you were at the Atlanta event, what was the main motto? Don't call people, have your running partner call people, right? Now, how does that make you feel? Does that make you feel warm and fuzzy, the fact that I'm making money from the people on my team and Empower, yet I can't even call them? Or how about the fact that if you're a prospect and I'm not supposed to even call you? I understand the behavior of that, but that's not how I've built for the last 4 years, and that's not how I would want my team to treat my mom, treat my sister, treat my wife. I want some personal communication. I'm not saying you call me, hey, Lawrence, how do you move this banner 2 inches to the left? That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is a long-term relationship where we can work together, get on a boat, and go on vacation together. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, me hanging out in LA with Franco and Cynthia and Toby and all these other great leaders, W. Clark, and we just hang there. And it's just like, it's like a family reunion. We don't want to anymore. Nick Bramble hit it on the head. Nick's like, I'm just sick and tired of making money where people just aren't happy. I mean, he hit it on the head. You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why Nick Bramble, who's made I think over 85 to 100,000 in Empower Network, didn't even show up. He just came to the point where it's like, you know what? I want to spend my time with my family, and I physically want to call people, which is counterculture to what Empower Network wants to do. He's like, I'm just going to call people and just connect with people. I'm just done. I'm just done with pushing traffic and trying to sell something. He really wants to just work with people. And so, you know, maybe you're on this list because of Nick. I mean, that's okay. I mean, we're not shunning the ways you want to build your business. But the average person in my team who's made more than $10,000 in anything in network marketing or offline or online, we understand it's about people. It's about people. And if you're standing at your computer and you have never shook, if you never shook someone's hand that's in your industry, our industry is really marketing. We can do it online and offline, different businesses and whatnot. Why haven't you? I mean, how lonely is that? You know what I mean? Like, did you never hug your sponsor, like the person who enrolled you in the business in network marketing? Did you never like have a beer with the person who brought you into internet marketing? The guy who brought me into internet marketing back in 2008, Marty Baker, I finally met him in person. And like that dude, that's the guy who got me on my way. And he was never going to teach me the wrong way. And you know what that is? He never called me to train me. But I knew he was there. And so I called him, I think 3-4 times before, just random things, just to kind of connect. But he's always been there. And he told me, hey, Lawrence, you know what? The way you treat your business, you're going to have tremendous success because you're not going to duplicate bad behavior. And so the more you understand what we're trying to do is we want to groom a team of leaders. Leaders, so when we decide to leave, like not leave the industry, but like leave on a 8-month journey into traveling the world and just living in another country because the finances are good, it's because we trained our leaders to lock down areas of our businesses. Because we understand if we make you money, you stick around. And if we build a culture around you where you're family, think about that. See, I'm not saying Empower Network was wrong. I'm not saying that. But I'm not saying 100% of Empower Network, what they do is what we're going to do as a team. Because they give you freedoms, because we're all independent promoters. And what we're saying is, we truly believe in the phone. The average person in my leadership team will want to call you if you are willing to be coached. If. Now, if you feel like you can do it on your own and you don't want people calling you and you don't even have a cell phone, fantastic. Do your thing. But just know, we do pick up our phone. All right? Trust me, we do pick up our phone. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to pick up your phone. I'm about to have a baby in 2 days. I don't know whose phone I'm picking up. I'm hoping I'm picking up my phone, not my wife's phone, just being crazy, because it is going to be nuts in my house. But just let you know, it's just like, people don't know how much you really care until you go out and show them how much you care. And you'll see how our team is just totally different. I mean, we want to bring the culture of Visalis to Empower Network. That's the type of caring. Well, what does that really mean? See, in Visalis, all the six-figure earners, they actually stay inside of the event room. And when they open the doors, you go through a row of people who make money off of you, but they're greeting you. Now think about that. It's totally different than saying you go into an event where all the people who make less than $10,000 a month sit here, and all those who make $10,000 a month more sit here. See, that to me is the classes. But Visalis doesn't do that. See, and so I'm not above trying to teach you other behaviors from things I've learned from other companies, because I'm always learning. Just like how David uses Amway, because Amway paved the path to how he built his business with Empower. Live events, always training through audio. You know what I mean? That's what he's pulled from Amway. Well, I'm pulling from Visalis the fact that people stay for the feeling. No one wants to go to an event where you want to cry because it's a boring meeting. All right? And this is why Empower Network is kind of a wonky thing, because you have two guys who are homeless wearing T-shirts that are just ridiculous looking, and they don't even shave or cut their hair because it's different. And that's where I want to be. I want to take internet marketing where it's no longer the man on an island building a business and seeing how many people he can scam versus a person in a community to how many people they can help. All right. I got a letter. I don't know if you're still on. Is it Jovi? I got a letter, and this letter was handed to me while I was at the event. Javi, is it Javi Brock? I think it was you. Hand me a letter. I just read it. I don't think you understand how much that touched me. I don't think you understand. This letter basically said, I was not on your team, didn't even join, and you answered my question. So normally I don't speak to prospects. I just don't do it. But for whatever reason, I think God puts me in such special situations, right? I think God blessed me with the responsibility to helping people make some money, feel better about themselves, build a better brand, believe in themselves, basically, even if there's no money involved, live a healthier lifestyle, whatever it may be. I think Javi had like $27 to their name, and they came in at the $25 level, and it said, because you cared, I truly believe you can help me. And I'm like, damn, someone wrote that on a letter? Like wrote it on the thank you letter. I don't think you understand how many people we can impact if we run as a unit versus running as a single person. Now, what does that mean? We were walking through, like we were being told, sit in the front, everyone with red tags sit in the front, everyone with blue tags sit in the back, which is just crazy. It's just craziness, you know what I mean? But when I was walking, I was getting high fives of people, and I'm like, hey, you're Lawrence Tam. And one guy grabbed my arm and goes, hey, you're Lawrence Tam. I'm like, yeah, hey, thanks. He goes, you saved my life. I'm like, what the heck? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Think about that. Do you want to be the guy who stands on stage holding a $50,000 check and everyone goes, I hate that bastard? You know what I mean? I hate that guy. Do you want to be that person? Or do you want to be the guy that goes, that guy called me during his lunch hour in the parking lot of his office, getting eaten by mosquitoes in 100-degree weather, but that's the guy. You inspire me. And I'm just thinking, I never went out to build a business to inspire anybody. I just built a business to make some freaking money. And that's where we all came from. We all came from that. We just wanted to make some freaking money so we can do whatever we want to do. But I got to a point where like, what does that really make you? I mean, how does that really impact our community? How does that help people in the long run? In the long run, a lot of you won't make money immediately. Plain and simple. Ain't gonna happen. Sorry. Truth. Okay? But if we can really change the way people think about themselves, if people really start to believe in themselves, I think as a community, in Empower, in Visalis, or whatever it may be, I think personally, myself and the unit of high-end marketers who aren't just going to hide behind a screen to sell you stuff, I think we can change the way people think about, well, that's a business I want to send my kids to. That's a business I want my daughter to learn. That's a business I want my son to go to college, learn to learn. That's why we go to college, to learn. So you can go ahead and change the world by impacting people's lives, even if they're part-time. All right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just a guy who worked extremely hard, and now I'm working less hard, but I still run. I mean, let's just be honest. Now, I only spent 3 hours last month on Empower Network, but I spent 50 hours on Visalis every single week. All right. So I still work a lot of hours. Why? I truly believe we can help some people. When someone goes, Lawrence, you know what you've done? You're actually helping me save my house. That made me cry, man. I'm just telling you. When someone in my Visalis team goes, you're helping me save my house, you just kind of think about it. Do I want to be the dirty bastard who just wants to make some money and run? Or do you want to be the guy who could save someone's house? I mean, my house is paid off. I can live on a king. I can be the guy who lives on an island with no cell phone and just sells crap, right? Maybe it's good crap. Who knows? Maybe it's awesome crap. Or you could be the guy who shakes the hand of somebody who goes, you know what? I have a fear that if I'm successful, people won't love me, or I'm unworthy, or I'm like, that's all in your mind. You're totally better than anything I could have done, but you're not allowing yourself to. And so when people go, Lawrence Tam, you're freaking awesome, I'm like, dude, I'm just the guy who works hard. That's it. I work very hard, and I model, just like they said on the event floor, I model those who are more successful than I am, and I pick and choose what I want to model. Like, I don't want to model the no phone call thing. I don't want to model that. Now, I'm not saying I want to be like Toby. Toby's a machine. He does I'm pretty sure he averages 100 calls a day, right? He's a machine. I don't want to be that. That's fine. But I make my calls. Why? I truly believe over time, proven since 2008, I've talked to so many people and they still remember me, right? Now, maybe it takes that person 6, 7, 8 years to build a business where they can leave their job that they hate. That's fine. But the person who doesn't take the first step to making a change is the person who will never get there. And if I could be that catalyst, if I can be the catalyst to helping you take your first step to saying, I am freaking worth it, I'm smart enough, I have enough energy to do this, I don't care if I'm 80 years old, Lawrence Tam freaking called me, I think I'm ready to make a change in my life. I mean, think about it. I have 2 little kiddos. My third's due in 2 days. I want them to go, Dad, that person is crying because you helped her overcome her fears. And that's craziness. Think about what you have. If you can physically change someone's life, what is that worth? Seriously, can you put a dollar amount on that? I don't think you can. I truly believe if you can do it in a way where someone comes up and says, Lawrence, or Debbie, or Franco, or Toby, or Cynthia, or Alex, or BJ, Brian Addison, I mean, there's tons of us. And we can actually change someone's life, even if maybe it's just they lost 20 pounds, or maybe they lost 5 pounds, or maybe they got over the fear of picking up the phone, or maybe they got the fear and got out of the way of themselves, or maybe they believed they're worth more than $10 an hour. Can you believe that there are people right now who believe that they're only worth $10 an hour? How sad is that? That's the slavery mentality. Every single person who was on this webinar and everyone who's going to watch this will know there is actually no limit to what you're worth until you believe it. And if you don't believe it, well, guess what? It's never coming. It's just never coming. And so I understand all the riches that has come to me is because, number one, I never gave up. Number two, I didn't let anyone tell me any differently from my family and friends that I was being crazy to chase this dream. And number three, my why is so freaking strong, no one can tell you it's not worth it. My wife being home with her kids, with my kids, my kiddos, retiring her from accounting, making sure my kids have a paid education to study whatever they want instead of studying what pays them money. If you want to be a freaking basket weaver, be it. You want to be a martial arts instructor, so be it. You want to be a flight attendant? Fantastic. But you do it because you want to, not because you need the money for it. Because guess what? You're going to see my daughter following me around. Once she gets to an age that she's comfortable, she's still 7. She keeps asking me to take her to an event. But I tell her, hey, daddy works like, 20-hour days when I go to these events because I'm always meeting people, masterminding, and learning from other people and absorbing things. Plus, some guys have, foul language. I need to protect her. But she's going to be one of those proteges of mine that she already does video marketing. Why? Because I'm training her to. Like, I physically help her do video marketing. And as she progresses, she's getting smoother and smoother. Because I feel like everything I've learned, I want to pass on to my kids. Good values, respecting your elders, giving back to the community, versus being the guy who makes money, takes it, and hoards it like it's food or something. I mean, it's not. So change your thinking. Truly believe you can do it. Get with the person who brought you to this. All right. I'm not here to recruit anybody. All right. I'm here to build business relationships, which then turns into personal, lifelong friendships. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I see Cynthia at a freaking grocery store, we're going to be hanging out. I mean, if I see Franco, I see him at the freaking gas station, we're going to be freaking, what's up? I didn't know you were here. What? Not the type of, I'm on the internet, you're over there. If you want your money back, just come and get it. But I don't ever want to see your face. Don't friend me. That's not how I roll. I just don't do that. Now, just please notice, most of us have been on the internet for a while. We have a lot of friends. So don't get your panties in a bunch if we don't accept your friend request. I'm sorry. Just subscribe to us, right? Personally, for most of us, all of our friends list is pretty much reserved for those in Visalis because we have big teams in Visalis, and we truly believe the reason we need to be friends with them is because we can tag them. Toby touched on that because we build as a community, and so when we tag somebody, they need to be friends, and we like to build tight-knit communities. So, I mean, look, hey, we had a beer at Empower Network, fantastic. Now I know you're one of my students, and you're paying me. I understand that. But there's only 5,000 people we can put on our friends list, and like 99.9% of them are our Visalis people, and if not, they're those who are waiting to jump in. It's just in different countries or whatnot, right? So don't be bashful that, hey, I mean, don't be thinking that we're bashing you or anything like that. But if you really, 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 really want to friend us, you send a message that says why we should friend you. Maybe because, hey, I'm about to join Visalis. Hey, I joined Empowered. I made you $50,000. Or, I'm just looking to shadow you, and hopefully when you have the time, you can mentor me and I can follow you. Hey, fantastic. But get with the person, okay? I'm going to disperse my applications out to my team leaders, and those team leaders are then going to connect with each other and find out who needs to be getting phone calls from who. Just know you're going to get a phone call, all right? Just know you're going to get a phone call. Unless you're like, I don't know, in New Zealand or something, and your time zone is when we sleep. I don't know. There are some exceptions, okay? I'm not calling people in Australia because I do value my sleep and whatever. But please understand, we are not Dave and Dave, all right? Dave and Dave are on their own little planet. They're the crazy wild people that head up Empower Network. I'm just the guy who works part-time in my businesses, but my goal is to just be the best person I can. All right. I'm going to record this, and that's a wrap, guys. Turn this off.